Okay, so if we can see if we've really got it, here's some exam questions, GCSE style exam questions that you may come across. Now, I'm not going to just leave you in at the deep end, but I'm just going to talk you through a few things. The first thing is make sure you've got your right angle drawn in on each one, okay, because that makes it really easy to then say, okay, this side over here is going to be my hypotenuse, hypotenuse, and luckily enough on this one all of the triangles in the same orientation or the same direction. So that's going to be my hypotenuse. If I'm going to now say what my that's going to be my opposite, that's my opposite, and so on. Opposite. This one is quite difficult in the sense of it says it doesn't give me an angle, so I've got to read the question really well. For a ladder, it must be safe. To be safe, it must be on an incline at between 70 and 80 degrees to the ground. Well, this is the ground, so this angle here must be what it wants me to find, and we're going to call that angle X. So going back to my labelling of my sides, this one then must be the opposite because it's the opposite side, and again I've got the angle here even though it's not encased in an arc, okay, but we can put that on. So straight away I've got my hypotenuse, I've got my opposite, then the other one must be the adjacent. Okay, so you're going to leave it there, label all your sides before you start, use the ratio at the top, the SOH-CAH-TOA at the top, to try and find out which one you need. Okay, so if I've got hypotenuse and opposite, I'm going to use sine. If I've got adjacent and hypotenuse, I'm going to use cos, and if I've got opposite and adjacent, I'm going to use tangent. Okay, the only other thing, whenever you're finding a missing angle, I'm just going to highlight these here, missing angle, missing angle, missing angle, missing angle, they are always going to be -1. So sin -1, cos -1, tan -1. So when you get the right ratio, remember I'm going to have to do the inverse, and it's going to be cos -1 or sin -1 or tan -1 of what you need to do. Give it a go, see how you get on. Okay, I'll pause the video now, and then I'll have the answers coming up shortly. So if you pause the video, give it a go, see how you get on. Okay, hopefully you got on okay. Looking at this one, I've got opposite and hypotenuse, so I should have needed so. This one I've got opposite and hypotenuse again, so it's got to be sin -1 on this one. Let's just go back here and just change that to sin. Okay, so that's going to be sine. That's going to be sine -1. This one here, I've got the adjacent and the opposite. So adjacent and opposite is going to be tan, and I need to find the angle. So it's tan -1. This one, I need to find the angle again, so I know it's going to be -1, but this time I've got the opposite and the hypotenuse. So again, I'm on sine, sin -1. This one here, I've got the opposite and the hypotenuse. Do I know the hypotenuse? No, I don't. Sorry, I've got the opposite and the adjacent. So the opposite and the adjacent is going to be tan. So this one is going to be tan -1 because I'm finding the angle. And on this one here, I've got the adjacent and I want to find the height. Don't want to know the hypotenuse in this case. I need to find the elevation, the overall height of the tower. So I've got opposite, adjacent, so again I'm on tan. Half the battle is to label the sides correctly. If you've done that, really, really well done. Okay, on to this one. Hopefully you should see all the workings there. A couple of things to take note of and be careful with. If you have got multiple units, so here we've got meters and we've got centimeters, convert it first into all the same. So I've got 29 divided by 400. Okay, it becomes really difficult if you leave the measurements in two different types of unit. Okay, so convert it first and then use it. Right, and the other one in here, it says 3SF, 3 significant figures. Up to now we've used decimal places. Remember, if we did this calculation on our calculator, and I will just put it up now. So we've got 50, tan of 74. So remember, if I'm using that, tan of 74 equals the opposite divided by the adjacent. The opposite is what we need to find. We don't know what the adjacent, we know what the adjacent is. The adjacent is 50. And remember, to get rid of this, I've got to times both sides by 50. Okay, so I end up with tan of 74 multiplied by 50 equals the opposite. And that's what I will do in the calculator. Tan 74 times 50 equals, tan 74 close bracket times 50 equals 174.370722. So they've done it. You could have put to the nearest whole number. The way they've written it is the first digit is significant, so is the second, so is the third, so they've put it to 3 significant figures. And remember, what measurement are we in? They would have lost a mark there. Always put the units, 174 meters. Hopefully that's been of some use. Any problems, give me a shout. Thank you.